Hey guys, it's Sue here. Welcome back to my channel. So I am super excited for today's video because we are going to look into one of the hottest ingredients as of now in the skincare industry, which is mugwort or Artemisia or silk or however you want to call it. I honestly think more and more brands are going to come out with mugwort products, and it's just going to be like Medical Society 2.0. And we're going to see more of it, especially now that microdust is everywhere. Oh my gosh, the air is so bad. Honestly, I'm scared of going out of my house. To be more specific, we're going to look into these three products. And what these three products have in common is that they are all 100% mugwort or Artemisia extract. So if you look at the ingredient list, you will only find one. So we have here the I'm from Mugwort Essence, the Vely Vely Artemisia Balance Essence, and this is the Missha Time Revolution Artemisia Treatment Essence. I believe this isn't out yet exactly. This has not been released, but I did have the very fortunate opportunity to test this out beforehand. So I thought I would share my experience with you guys, and also to help us get a better understanding of what 100% mugwort extract means. I also had the very grateful opportunity to ask I'm from some questions regarding these products, like what do you guys mean when you say 100% mugwort extract, and why are the prices so darn high? These babies are pretty expensive, guys, so they're like 43,000 won. I know. And so I asked these questions from or as a consumer. So I think this video will be very helpful for you guys. And no, this video is not sponsored. I'm from is not sponsoring this video, which I think makes them even more sweeter, right? They didn't have to answer my questions. So make sure to press that like button of this video. I just want to give them a shout out because they were really helpful and they really thoroughly answered these questions that I had. So we're basically gonna go over the Q&A first, and then I'll be sharing my experience and my reviews with each of these specific products. First, what exactly does 100% mugwort extract mean? So extract in terms of skincare is basically what you get when you extract a chemical or active compound from a plant material into a solvent such as water, alcohol, or oil. And then you partially or completely dissolve the solvent. And so what you have left is extract. So just because they say it's 100% mugwort extract does not mean it's 100% of the mugwort itself. They've mixed in the solvents, they mixed in other things inside, and they kind of made this whole potion, and that is the mugwort extract. Even though all these products say 100% mugwort or Artemisia extract, depending on what type of Artemisia they use, and also depending on what solvent they use, depending on the different ratio, depending on the technology that they use to extract, their formula will be completely different. Take coffee, for instance. Espresso is what you get when you steam water through the coffee beans, right? Americano is what you get when you add water into espresso, and then cafe latte is when you get when you mix milk, right? So depending on the different solvents you use, depending on the ratio, depending on the amount, you will get different mixture at the bottom level, right? Bottom line. Now this leads on to the second question, which is, so what about the preservatives? So I remember when I looked at the ingredient list and I just found one ingredient, I was like, but where are the preservatives at? For me, I don't think preservatives are bad at all. Preservatives are what actually extends the shelf life of these products, and they stop from the products going bad. So for me, I like to know that there's some kind of preservatives in my product, just as long as it's not harmful to my body or my skin. Now, according to I'm From, and I can't say this for the other two brands, Missha and Vely Vely, but with the case of I'm From, they have used the ingredient called 1,2-hexanediol. And if you're someone who likes to give the ingredient list a light read from time to time, you've definitely seen this ingredient in a lot of products. And it's non-irritant, and it also acts very well as a preservative. So this is the ingredient that they use to extract the active ingredients from mugwort or the plants. So even though it's expensive because of its preservative functions and a lot of its great qualities, beneficial qualities, they use that to include in the formula, and that's what keeps the formula from going bad. The next question I had is, what plays the largest factor in deciding the prices? What I really wanted to ask them is, why are they so expensive? But of course I had to be civil and polite, and they were doing me a favor, so I didn't want to be, you know, all that. All of these products are pretty darn expensive. These all cost 42,000 won or 43,000 won. That's pretty expensive, right? I'm from said that technology that is being used to extract the active ingredients from the plant is what plays the largest role. So with the case of I'm from, they use a technology called slow release extraction, where they slowly extract the compound chemical from the plants at a very slow pace so that they don't harm any of the benefits or the ingredients from the plant. And I think each of the brands has their own way of extracting these chemical compounds from the plants. They all have their special technology. I know Missha stored it for 100 days in this ongi, which is basically a clay pot, a traditional Korean clay pot. So not only technology, but also where you get the plant material from, it will all influence the price rangings. Lastly, I asked her, what is the difference between all these type of mugwort? Mugwort is actually a medicinal herb used in China, Japan, Korea, and other Asian countries to treat eczema, itching, and also to moxibustion, where you steam the plant really hot on top of your body and kind of steam it and help it to cure any illness. And so traditionally it's been known to have lots of benefits. So in the case of the 강화약수, which is the ingredient used in the I'm from mugwort essence, it has warm characteristics in terms of, you know, Chinese traditional medicine. So it makes your body feel warm, and it's known to be very effective in treating those menstrual cramps, those pains and aches for a woman. The case of 인진수, which is the mugwort that is used in the Vely Vely one, this is a plant that is more known to cure diarrhea, any problems with the stomach, with the liver, etc. And with 개똥수, which is the plant used in the Missha one, actually earned a Nobel Prize for its benefits or properties for being able to treat malaria. I know a plant has a better future than I do. So all of these mugworts have their own characteristics. There are a lot of benefits with these Artemisia, especially when it comes to taking them, consuming them, and steaming them. So another question that I had, and I didn't get the chance to ask this to I'm from, but another question that I had is that will these benefits also show when we apply these mugworts topically? Because I think it's very different, you know, consuming something and just applying them on top, right? And obviously it will react differently, and our body will also react differently depending on where we put it. So I did my own research and I found a couple of studies, and one of the studies basically showed that there were anti-inflammatory properties of these Artemisia leaf extract when tested on inflamed mice ears. And also there was another study showing that there were topical benefits of applying the Artemisia extract on photo-damaged skin. So yeah, the mugwort ingredient is a wonderful ingredient that has lots of benefits, both when you topically apply it and both when you consume it. Okay, so that was a quick Q&A I had with the I'm from, and I hoped it helped you get a better understanding of what the whole mugwort 100% extract water is, why they're so expensive, and all that. Now I'm going to look at these products in detail and tell you my experience with each and one of them. In general though, I will say that each and every one of them has calming properties. So for this video, I was testing these products out for a couple of weeks, and I did notice that the redness, I usually have redness around my cheek areas. The redness had calmed down a lot. And also my skin hasn't been acting too crazy with the microdust, which is what usually happens. But because I have been applying these like day and night, I really felt like the redness isn't as prominent and not as obvious as they used to be. So I can tell you guys that these really do help in calming down the redness and irritation. It really comes down to what you're looking for in a formula and what you prefer, because the formulas are slightly different for each of these. So let me start with the I'm from mugwort essence one. I think out of all these three, this is the most hydrating one because it has the most viscosity to its formula. I'm not saying it's like a gloopy one, but you can still feel it, that syrupiness, and I think that really helps with actually hydrating your skin. For me, when I use this, I don't feel like my skin is dry or anything, and so it does a great job in calming and hydrating your skin. And this scent is very subtle, so if you were someone who just doesn't like any scent in your products, I think this one may be your best option out of these three. Yeah, the scent is definitely subtle. Now moving on to Missha, I think this has a formula that's like right in between the Vely Vely one and the I'm From one. It's very liquidy, it's almost water, but it has that hint of viscosity, especially if you compare it to the Vely Vely one, which is like completely just like water. This does have a bit of that hydrating factor as well, and likewise I didn't find this to be drying on my skin necessarily, but I do think that this essence is more there to calm down your skin as to hydrating your skin. If the I'm From has maybe 10% of the viscosity, this one has like 5% of that syrupiness. The Missha one does carry a very strong scent of the Mugwort. It smells exactly just like the Vely Vely one. Actually, these smell almost identical to each other. But for me, I actually love the scent of Mugwort. I think it's so earthy, very soothing, and at the end of the day, it helps me relax and unwind. So I actually really like the scent of these, but these are strong. It's not subtle at all. So just in case you guys are sensitive about scents personally, make sure to test them out first because they do carry that scent. And lastly, with the Vely Vely one, this one is the most liquidy one. This literally just feels straight up like water, and I did enjoy this to calm down my skin. And like I said, the scent is identically very present in this one, like the Missha one. These three products, I equally like to use them as the first thing in my skincare step. I most of the times like to apply it directly onto my skin just because, you know, I don't want to sensitize my skin even more by rubbing cotton. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It really depends on what my skin is up to. But for the most part, I like to directly apply these products onto my skin. Tap, 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 make sure they really sink in, and then I'll move on to the other like serums, creams, sun creams, etc. And depending on how my skin feels, I like to layer it more than once, maybe go twice, 3 times, and just really generously spoil my face with these products because I really do think they help with my skin being too sensitive and being too red. Well, yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had so much fun filming this video, you know, sharing my knowledge with you guys and keeping you guys informed about these new releases. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to press that like button and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you guys in the next. Ciao! As of now in this, what? Medicinal herb. It's actually a medicinal, wow. I mean, I don't think preservatives, I have hair in my mouth, sorry. Call Artemisia vulgaris. but people, Mugwort is actually a medicinal. In English, I don't know what that is in English actually. Or slightly different, the what? Actually a medicinal, oh my god!